Hello everyone, welcome to Ansarkari. In this video, we'll be continuing with the questions of ratio and proportion, specifically the ratio questions. And the first question for today is, if A ratio B ratio C is this, then A upon B ratio B upon C ratio C upon A is, and the answer we need to find out. So here the question will look complicated only because A ratio B ratio C here is in the fractions form. And since we have dealt with these kind of questions before in the previous videos, we know that in order to simplify them, we'll have to multiply them by the least common multiple. The very basic thing. On multiplying, we get here 3 ratio 4 ratio 6. So this is the ratio of A ratio B ratio C. Now, very simply, what the question is asking is, it is asking us A upon B, ratio B upon C, ratio C upon A. No need to get confused. Since we directly have the ratios of A, B, and C, we can directly write here 3 upon 4, ratio 4 upon 6, ratio C upon A, we'll write here 6 upon 3. Now, we cannot leave the answer in such a form or perhaps in fractions. The question can definitely be given in fractions, but we need to find out the solution in the simple forms itself, like in the form that is mentioned here. So again, we'll apply the same method as we did here. We find out the LCM of 4, 6, and 3. Again, it will be 12 itself. And on multiplying, we'll get here, on multiplying these fractions with the number 12. So here we'll get 3 and it will be 9. In 4 upon 6, when we multiply by 12, we'll get here 8. And when we multiply 6 upon 3 by 12, here we will get 24. So this will be the ratio or the answer to this particular question. So we can write here B will be the answer. Now let's move on to the next question. So the next question says, if A upon B is equal to C upon D is equal to 5, then 3A plus 4C divided by 3B plus 4D is equal to what? Now, looking at it, of course, the question, it will appear difficult, but it is not. We just need to try to simplify things. Now, how have we been simplifying usually? We are just removing the denominator and things have been becoming much easier for us. Same thing we'll try here itself. So, since this particular information is given to us, we can write here A upon B is equal to 5. We can directly write. This will imply that A will be equal to 5 times B. Pretty obvious, right? B is getting divided here, B is dividing here. So B will multiply, B will get multiplied here with 5. So therefore we get this. Then another part is C upon D is equal to 5. So we can write as C upon D is equal to 5. This will imply that C is equal to 5D. Now, what will we do with this given information? We will try to put this information in this particular part. How can we do this? See, 3. Instead of A, we can write here 5B plus 4. And instead of C here, we can write here 5D. Then on dividing, we write here 3. And then B will let it remain here itself because obviously we need to cancel and we need to keep the things same in numerator and denominator in order to derive the answer that is a given number. Right, so we can also draw a reference from the options. Okay, what exactly do we want? What is the question asking? So we'll keep the B here, B itself, rather than using A upon 5 and then again confusing the question. So 4D also will write. And now the variables on the numerator and the denominator are same. What we need to understand is that we can take out common. For example, from both these terms, the common part that we can take out is 5. Right? Both these terms are 5 and it is getting multiplied. So we can very simply get it out. So we can write a 5 and then we can have here 3B plus 4D. The terms remain the same, right? If you open this bracket, if you open this particular bracket, we will again get the same numerator. So we did nothing wrong. What we did was we just shifted the position of 5 or we just changed the way it was written. Right, we just changed the composition in which it was mentioned here. So we'll again write a 3B plus 4 D. Now, what we observe here is we have this similar portion here. And see, if 5 is getting multiplied by A and then it is getting divided by A, we can cancel it, right? And we get the answer as 5. Same thing is happening here. Bracket always means multiplication, which means that 5 is getting multiplied here with 3B plus 4. So we will cancel these two, and the answer that we'll get here will be equal to 5. Now, this, of course, we will understand by practice itself that how do we position this here, how do we convert this thing here, and then finally, how do we rearrange and sort these out to get this particular form, and then we can cancel these two and get a final answer. That is a whole separate thing. We get this by practice itself and by looking at the solutions of the given questions. It doesn't strike a person at once itself how to proceed with these kind of questions. But what becomes important is we can try to look at the options and then try to think of what the answer can be and how do we approach this. And secondly, the important inference that we get from this particular question is whatever the number that will be here, right? This number can be k, it can be any constant number that can be mentioned here. The answer in such a format, when the question is of such a format, will always be this particular k itself, right? The number could have been like the information that was given to us could have been this. So A would have been KB and C would have been KD. So this would also have been the condition in all the questions of this particular type. And of course, the format of the question that is given to us, it should be of this type itself, which means that the sign should be same. If it is plus mentioned above, plus should be there. Minus mentioned, minus should be there. Whatever the permutation combination that is being used. And also the numbers that are being used. Right, and the rest part we will conclude by the variables. We can just shift and check that how do we need to proceed in this particular, in these cases. So the answer for this question will be 5. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you understood. We'll continue in the next week.